ITS is ready for launch.
BCDC verify. Falcon 9 and Dragon are in startup.
Falcon 9's in startup.
Dragon is in startup.
Gas closeout's complete.
LD verify. Go for launch.
Go for launch.
T-minus 30. T-minus 20.
Falcon 9 is configured for flight.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Lift off of the Falcon 9. Falcon 9 is over tower. JC moved to 39A to pad post operations.
Copy, we'll go.
You are watching the Falcon 9 rocket carrying the Dragon spacecraft as it ascends through the atmosphere en route to the International Space Station after a successful liftoff from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The vehicle has just passed through supersonic territory. And the vehicle has also just passed through max Q, which is the maximum aerodynamic pressure that the vehicle sees during its ascent through the atmosphere. Just about 45 seconds now. The first stage is going to go through a few maneuvers, all in very close succession. The first of those is going to be main engine cutoff. It's when those 9 Merlin engines at the bottom of the first stage stop thrusting. Immediately after that, this first stage is going to separate from the second stage, and then immediately after that, the second stage's single Merlin vacuum engine is going to ignite and prepare to accelerate the Dragon spacecraft the rest of the way towards the orbit of the International Space Station. You can see those exhaust gases from the Falcon 9 expanding in the upper atmosphere. Stand by for MECO in just about 5 seconds. And as you can see, the main engines have cut off from the first stage, and we have confirmation of a successful separation. Just waiting for that second engine to start up. As you can hear from the crowd cheering downstairs, it sounds like we've had a successful separation and a successful ignition of that upper stage engine. Now on your screen right now, you can see that second stage on the right-hand side as it accelerates towards the International Space Station. However, on the left-hand side, you're looking at a view from the first stage of the Falcon 9 rocket. That first stage just completed its boost back burn, which thrusts it back towards Cape Canaveral and gets it ready for a landing. We can follow along with its process back towards LZ-1 on the left-hand side and follow along with Dragon and the second stage progress on the right-hand side. Just had confirmation that the Dragon's nose cone deploy, that is the shield on top of the Dragon that protects the hatch and the forward bulkhead from any aerodynamic pressures. Now that we're out of the atmosphere, we don't need it anymore, so we just pop it off. Getting confirmation from our GNC department that trajectory of the second stage is nominal. On your left-hand side, you can see those grid fins deploying on the first stage. Those grid fins are used to control the first stage as it descends down through the atmosphere. Just had confirmation of a successful boost back burn shutdown as well. Periodically on the left-hand side, you'll see jets of gas. These are cold gas thrusters. In addition to those grid fins, those cold gas thrusters allow that first stage to control its descent so that it can pinpoint land in the center of LZ1. And on the right-hand side of your screen, you can see that second stage nozzle glowing hot with those exhaust gases. That second stage is currently accelerating nominally towards the ISS. We've just acquired signal as well from our Bermuda tracking station. SpaceX has tracking stations situated all over the world so we can maintain constant contact with the second stage engine as it orbits the Earth. That first stage is about 1 minute away from the entry burn. You can see the coast of Florida in the left-hand side of your screen as the stage comes back down towards land. It's still in the very upper regions of the atmosphere where air is very thin, but before it hits the thicker atmosphere portions, we are going to light those engines once again to slow it down just a little bit so it doesn't burn up on its way down towards Cape Canaveral. This is a beautiful shot from space of Cape Canaveral. You can see the white dots of clouds that we just launched through. We should be able to get clear video all the way back down towards landing zone 1. On the right-hand screen, you're seeing a camera shot from our pad at LZ1. And the entry burn has just started. So that Falcon 9 is currently thrusting its way just to slow itself down. Entry burn lasts about a minute. Excuse me, about 10 seconds. And entry burn has just completed. That was successful. For those of us just joining, on the left-hand side, we have a camera on the first stage as it descends, and on the right-hand side, we have a camera on the ground tracking that first stage as it makes its way back. You can see the rocket start to vibrate around as it hits the thicker parts of the atmosphere. In about 10 seconds, that center Merlin engine is going to ignite once more and set the rocket down as gently as possible at the pad at LZ1. Landing burn has begun. On the left-hand side, you can see the first stage approaching the pad. And on the right-hand side, you see the pad shot. Let's watch it land. Just saw on this webcast, X marks the spot for yet another picture-perfect landing of a Falcon 9 first stage back at LZ1 in Cape Canaveral, Florida. This is great news for everyone here at SpaceX. This is exactly what we try to do with all of our most of our rockets now these days. So while we all are very excited about this successful landing, it's important to note that the main objective today is still not complete. On the right-hand side of the screen, you can see that second stage continually accelerating itself and the Dragon spacecraft towards the International Space Station. So hopefully we'll get confirmation that the second stage engine cutoff is about to happen soon. This is when that second stage engine finishes its main burn, finishes accelerating the Dragon most of the way towards the ISS, and then after that burn is complete, the Dragon will then separate from the second stage and then begin its own preparations as it goes towards the ISS. Now, the Dragon doesn't go straight to the International Space Station. It actually has a 36-hour maneuvering period from separation until it hits the ISS. You can visualize this as us catching up with the ISS as it orbits around the Earth. As you can see from this animation, the ISS circles the Earth at low Earth orbit. And then what we do is we launch the Dragon from Cape Canaveral in Florida. That first stage separates and comes back for a landing, as it just did. The second stage burns again and accelerates the Dragon towards the ISS, and then the Dragon pops off and separates from the second stage, deploys its solar panels like it will in a few minutes, and then over the next 36 hours, thrusts very incrementally and slowly as it gradually boosts its orbit closer and closer to match that of the ISS until the robotic Canadarm can grab it and pull it in. And so we just had confirmation of a good orbit and a second stage engine shutdown. This means the Dragon is exactly where we plan it to be, where we wanted it to be in orbit. This is fantastic news. It's still not quite done yet. We have a few other events coming up in quick succession here. The first is going to be Dragon deployment. On the right-hand side of your screen, you can see a camera pointing from the top of the second stage up into the trunk of the Dragon. We should be able to see that. Oh, there it goes. Dragon has successfully deployed. As you can see, this is big news for the crowd down there. It means the Dragon is happy and in orbit. In about 1 minute from now, the protective covers on either side of the Dragon's trunk, which carry its solar panels, are going to pop off in about 30 seconds. And those solar panels are going to deploy so the Dragon can charge its solar panels on its way to the ISS. Right now on your screen, you can see that second stage engine nozzle after having completed its mission of bringing the Dragon to a low Earth orbit. So we may not have telemetry from that second stage, video telemetry, all the way until the solar deploy. Solar array deploy should be happening in just a few seconds right now, but I can't guarantee that we'll have a good enough link to have video of it. So we're just standing by to get confirmation from Dragon that the solar arrays have deployed properly. Oh, there it is. There's a shot of those solar arrays before deployment. Got about another 40 seconds before those solar arrays deploy. Right now, it looks like this is a view of a camera mounted inside the solar array compartments. Deployment should be any second now. And there it is. As you can see, those are the solar arrays of Dragon slowly unfolding. Looks like a successful solar array deploy. Dragon's propulsion system is also primed and ready to thrust its way towards the ISS.
Hello, is Virginia expected?
Those solar arrays allow the Dragon to stay topped off on its batteries in a 36-hour journey to the International Space Station. Now, Dragon's journey to the space station is right now far from over. Dragon has about 36 hours of slow maneuvering, inching closer and closer to the space station until it's close enough to be grabbed by the robotic Canadarm on the station. However, while Dragon still has a long way to go, this is going to bring our webcast to a close today. Thank you so much for watching. We'd like to thank our customer NASA for allowing us to perform yet another commercial resupply services, our 12th here at SpaceX. We'd like to thank the viewers here for tuning in, the FAA and the range. Today we had a successful launch right on time at 12:31 p.m. from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. We had a successful stage separation, a successful landing of the Falcon 9 first stage, and a successful Dragon deployment from that second stage. Please keep in touch with SpaceX on our social media feeds and also SpaceX.com so that you can follow Dragon's progress to the International Space Station over the next 36 hours. Thank you so much for watching.